done through Hindu patsies, not Islamic, but Hindu patsies. This is a big thing. There's a whole world of Hindu terrorism, and now we're getting Hindu fascists becoming the great friends of the United States. And your future is going to be hostage to a bunch of Hindu fascists under the Indian-U.S. nuclear deal, and that's...
International terrorism expert Rohan Gunaratne cautioned Sri Lanka's gradual alignment with China, regardless of regional geopolitical realities.
The LTT and the other terrorist group grew very significantly because of Indian assistance. From 1983 August until 1987 May, India's Foreign Intelligence Agency, the Research and Analysis Wing, provided arms, ammunition and explosives and guidance and direction to 6 terrorist groups, including the LTT. So the first batch of Tamil Tigers were trained in Chakrata, north of Dehradun, in a facility called Establishment 22. Prabhakaran himself visited that facility. Indian military officers who were assigned to India's Foreign Intelligence Service trained the first batch of Tamil Tigers. Second batch was trained in Himachal Pradesh. So first batch in Uttar Pradesh, second batch in Himachal Pradesh. 8 other batches were trained in Tamil Nadu, including...
From a radical Hindu background and lived in the slums a pastor used to visit regularly. Persecution such as this is not uncommon in India, and these sorts of attacks are not isolated incidences.
The RAW, R-A-W. Raw deal is what you're going to get from them. And they're into going into Afghanistan, picking up crazies there, mujahideen, whatever they are, and getting them into Pakistan so that they can essentially wage armed civil war against the Pakistani government.
The Indian spy admitted he works for the Indian intelligence agency RAW. Pariyam says a person named Chandu Khatri arranged his meeting with RAW officers. He claimed they gave him money and directed him to bring information and pictures of the Pakistani army. Pariyam said he had been living in Lahore for the last 4 months.
And well-equipped attack. The Sri Lankan cricket team was just arriving at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore when the police believed there were a team of 12 terrorists. Here you can see 2 of them, AK-47s at the ready, and they're wearing protective flak jackets and carrying hand grenades. The police guarding the cricket convoy were the first targets. Several of them were shot and killed straight away. Then the cricketers themselves came under fire. One journalist nearby described what he saw and heard.
Rather than go to hospital, they drove the bus to the stadium and treated the players immediately in the dressing rooms, which are where they are now. I actually went out to the dressing rooms to have a look and see what's going on.
The RAW leads us then to this world of Hindu terrorism, and this is very, very big. U.S. media never interested in this stuff.
My colleagues, in another example, a mob of around 50 Hindu extremists surrounded a house church the night of April 22nd and began shouting derogatory statements at all the worshippers in the church. Terrified believers in the church shut the doors. They phoned the local police and asked for help.
This brings us to the world of where do you get Hindu terrorists? Again, this BJP is the governing party. They'll probably be back in power soon. But then there's this other thing called the RSS, Hindu extreme nationalists, racists, Hindu superiority types.
The ones that killed Gandhi because he wouldn't go to war with Muslims.
And
happens every week, but you
never
hear about it.
In particular, the guy that you're mentioning, right? I think this guy Karkare, the anti-terrorism boss of Mumbai, I think is a hero of our time.
Who busted a Hindu extremist group army captain really staging the last train bombing, blaming it on Muslims. Right. So he goes in there with his commanders. They all get killed in the first minutes.
It's clear that there were snipers who were given the specific task of eliminating Karkare and 3, 4, 5 of his closest associates.
Because he'd been on the news saying the government's staging the terror.
Saying in particular that this was being